So if you have been here with me for a minute, then you have literally watched my channel change week by week. And I just wanted to stop and I wanted to say that out loud because I don't think I have ever really addressed it. So I started out, I was doing faith content. I had some beauty content, kind of moved into lifestyle. And now if you watch my last few videos, you probably notice I'm neither here nor there with that type of content. And so today I wanted to talk about the whole messy process of trying to figure out what this channel is supposed to be. Because I think a lot of you are probably in the same spot and nobody really talks about that part and no one talks about what that looks like. So here's something that I had to learn and I'm still learning it the hard way. On other platforms, you can kind of be all over the place, like on Instagram or TikTok. I feel like people will follow you as a person. And that's fine because like one day you could do fragrance reviews. The next day you could do a life update. You could vlog and it doesn't really break anything. But on YouTube is not like that. And so I really had to sit with this because for a while I was frustrated and I was trying to figure out why doesn't YouTube work the same way. And what I've come to understand is that YouTube is really built on search and around suggested videos. And so the algorithm is constantly trying to figure out who exactly is the channel for. And so if your last 10 videos was about beauty, then lifestyle, then business, podcasts, hair tutorials, YouTube is genuinely confused and they're like, girl, what are you doing? And so they can't confidently put you in front of anybody because they really don't know. And I just feel like that's the part that no one is talking about enough. And it's not that variety is bad, it's that YouTube specifically pushes out clear answers to problems, to searches that people are looking for. So let me just talk about what this process has looked like for me, because I think the specifics matter more than me just saying I struggled with niching down. So I started this channel in beauty. I was doing fragrance reviews, that kind of content. And that made sense at the time because that's what I was, I was interested in. And that's what I felt approachable to start with. And then I moved into lifestyle, broader life content, some business talk mixed in, some faith content. I had my podcast flowing over here, interviewing other people about, their industry. And if I want to be honest, that felt more like me in a lot of ways. But it also meant that the channel didn't really have a single identity anymore. And I was everything, which on paper may sound good. It's like a jack of all trades, but YouTube is actually really bad because it was unclear and it read like, just all over the place. And so now I have landed into just going back to real life, my federal HR career, my military spouse experience, and this whole process of starting over in my 40s because I'm 44. And so what's different this time is I'm not choosing this because it's trendy, because I think it will perform well. I'm choosing it because it's true. And I think that I would just be able to sit down like I'm doing now and record my videos and not really have to put much thought into it because I do have real expertise and, everything is coming from my mind, right? So I just wanted to be vulnerable for a second because I think that part matters. And so niching down felt like a loss at first because I felt like I was losing something. I was closing doors on other parts of myself, like the beauty side, the lifestyle side, the parts of me that I felt like I could just live out loud. And so that was some grief and I just had to sit with it and I had to be okay with it. And now I have come to this. So this channel doesn't have to hold everything that I am. It just has to be clear about, who it is for. And so the beauty side of me, the life side of me, the lifestyle side, those, won't disappear. But I just feel like I'm not doing it anymore. Okay, let me reel it back in because I can be all over the place. So I said all that to say, if you are a creator right now, and if you're feeling like, you're being pulled in 10 different directions, here's what I would say to you. First, I want you to look at what's already working, not what you wish was working. So for me, that meant I had to look at which of my videos was getting the real engagement. And it wasn't the beauty content. It was the personal, the vulnerable stories, the career disruption content. And so that was hard for me to sit with, because it wasn't the content that I expected to be my thing, right? Second, find the version of your story that nobody else can tell. Anybody can do a beauty review, but not everyone has lived experience through, federal HR disruption and military spouse relocations and midlife business rebuild at the same time. So I really had to ask myself, what do I have that's mine, and not just interesting content, but content that specifically is mine to tell. And third, I want you to give yourself permission to grieve the pivot. This is the one that I think people kind of skip over, because you are allowed to feel sad about narrowing down and really niching down your channel, because you did care about all the things that you were talking about. So this channel moving forward is going to look different. And I wanted you to hear that directly from me, instead of just showing up, watching, and trying to figure out what is going on. And so if you are a creator going through the same thing and you're trying to figure out, what your channel is and who your channel is for, I would just really love for you to grow with me through this, because I know I'm not in this by myself. So go ahead, drop a comment and tell me where you are, in the process, because I think we can figure this out together than to do it alone. So I'll see you guys in the next video. And hopefully I can stay on track, guys, because I am undiagnosed ADHD and I can be all over the place. But again, thank you guys for watching. And